In 2013, the car industry broke the 200,000 mark with a total of 212,682 units sold. From January to March of this year, more than 60,000 cars were sold. This is due to the influx of disposable income produced especially by first-time car buyers. Of the thousands of brand new cars sold annually, there are bound to be vehicles that have escaped the quality standards of its manufacturers. These types of vehicles are described as lemons.
We welcome the passage of the lemon law because we believe that this will be beneficial to the consumers as well as the manufacturers and distributors. Defect actually is a non-conformity to these specifications. The defect should relate to safety. Manufacturers will be given the opportunity to repair.
Philippine Lemon Law, which was signed by the President last month, aims to protect and promote the rights of buyers of automobiles from deceptive practices. However, it only covers brand new four-wheeled vehicles. The law does not cover motorcycles or second-hand vehicles. At first glance, the law seems to benefit only the car consumers. However, many owners of car manufacturing companies welcome the law because it will also benefit them in the long run.
It clearly defines now the procedure and how to determine whether the car is actually a lemon. The consumers are more confident now to buy vehicles because aside from the express warranty by the manufacturers, we have the lemon law. That will also challenge the manufacturers to even continue to improve the quality of the cars they produce.
How does this law protect the rights of car consumers? What are the remedies that it proposes? And how will this law affect car manufacturing companies? Good evening. You are watching Legal Help Desk. This show is about making the law work for you by giving legal advice on topics that matter to you. I'm Attorney Jimeno. Tonight, we will discuss your legal rights according to the newly approved Philippine Lemon Law. What you need to know about the Lemon Law, and what you need to do to invoke your rights as a consumer under this law. Our guests for tonight are Undersecretary Victorio Mario Di Magiba of the Department of Trade and Industry and Gus Lagman, Chairperson of the Automobile Association of the Philippines. Good evening and thank you for being with us, gentlemen.
Good evening, Karen.
Good evening, Attorney.
So this is a very relevant topic because this law took into effect just last Thursday, August 7. So a lot of people first ask you, lalo na yung mga hindi familiar with the word lemon as standing for vehicles, why is it called lemon law in the first place? Or why does it refer to defective cars when you say lemon?
Yeah,
Maybe
Gus
would like to say.
Well, what is usually referred to as lemon are those that are defective, and then after asking the manufacturer or dealer to repair the defect, it breaks down again, and it's the same defect. So you bring it back to the dealer, and then it happens over and over again. And I have some friends in the past who experienced this kind of thing, and that's what we usually refer to as a lemon, something that which defects could not be repaired.
I read some reference materials that say the history of the word is the British slang for parang passing off. When they say giving lemons, it's passing off something defective as good. So I guess that's early 1900s pa daw yun. So maybe that's one of the reasons. But Yusek, do you think this is very welcomed? I mean, sino bang pinoprotect nitong law na to?
Actually, going back to the first question, why we called it lemon, no? Kinopya natin to sa mga batas sa US. Marami silang batas dyan na kapag ang sasakyan ay defective, di mo magamit. They call it lemon eh. Wag Tagalog. Ang lemon ba maasim?
Oh, pwede. That's a good analogy.
Actually, dineliberate yan sa Kongreso. Sabi niya, why should we use lemon? Why don't we use our own fruit? Which is calamansi. No? Totoo yan. Nagkaroon mga ganun.
So, pwedeng, it could have been calamansi law.
So, well, because the industry auto industry is used more to the word lemon to describe defective cars. So, yun ang naging title ng law. No? So, yun na nga, if I remember right, ito pong batas na to ay 2 o 3 kongreso na tinalakay at ngayon lang po siya naging batas. No? Because this was pushed by no less than si Senator Aquino sa Senado at saka si Congressman Villar, yung counterpart niya sa Kongreso. Naging batas to. Yeah.
And Yusek, who will be protected by this Philippine Lemon Law?
Well, basically both sides, consumer and industry, very balanced. This is something which we in DTI always, our objective is to enable business and to empower consumer. The Lemon Law is a best example of that particular vision statement of the Department of Trade and Industry. So, nakita ko nga portion ng sinabi ni Atty. Romel, who's the President of CAMPI, that it's good for them because there are clear standards and criteria for a defective vehicle. Yan po, yung...
It was also mentioned that it will in fact encourage more buyers of cars because they'll be more confident about the condition ng
sales
car.
stock na ni, sales stock na ni.
But let's ask someone na head ng Automobile Association of the Philippines. When you read the Philippine Lemon Law, do you think, Gus, that this is sufficient to protect the rights of consumers? Siguro first, let's clarify. Sinong type of consumers are protected by this law?
Well, those buying brand new cars, no? And I agree with Attorney Gutierrez. It's really going to be good for both sides because I believe that with this law, they will be more conscious about quality control of the products that they sell. And yes, the consumers will feel more confident with the cars that they purchase. No? So it's good for both sides. And now there is a definition of what a lemon is. So mas malinaw ang labanan nila.
Yung consumer under the Lemon Law, this is one example na ni-expand yung coverage ng consumer. Sa Consumer Act, pag sinabing consumer, tayo lang eh. But dito sa Lemon Law, even a corporation who bought or buys a defective car can avail of the privilege. So this is an exception to the general or universal definition ng consumer. Normally, consumer, individual, and you use only for your family use, personal use. Pero yung mga korporasyon dito, pwede pumasok.
Okay. Prior to the Philippine Lemon Law, only mga tao, real persons na hindi corporations, can claim pagka may sira yung car, pero it's under the Consumer Protection Act.
That's right.
But now, kahit na corporations na owners ng cars can file a complaint. But Yusek, siguro let's clarify kasi a lot of people think, basta bumili ka ng defective cars, automatic, covered ka ng Philippine Lemon Law. So first, let's clarify. Katulad na sinabi ni Gus kanina, it's only for brand new motor vehicles.
Brand new, never been registered either here or abroad, at saka passenger cars only, including SUVs, no? Hindi po kasali motorsiklo, hindi kasali mga trucks, dump trucks, and all those trailers, no? Sa discussion, because ang mas marami na yata ngayon are motorcycles, no? I think babalangkas na lang ng ibang batas for lemon motorcycle.
Okay.
But meantime, kotse lang, tsaka yung mga SUVs kasali.
Yeah. And then it has to be brought sa Pilipinas lang?
Hindi, kahit po imported, pwede. Imported o purchase here, basta never been registered abroad. Dapat talagang bagong-bago siya. First time mo i-register dito sa LTO, so pwedeng imported. Kakunti naman yung imported, no? Normally, those are the more luxury cars.
Exotic cars.
So, yung back ng passenger cars are actually dito. A lot of, eto si Gus, alam naman, a lot of cars now are actually imported, completely built unit, mostly from Thailand and Vietnam. So, covered po sila ng Lemon Law.
But yun yung kailangan, bumili ka from a dealer,
authorized dealer
here in the Philippines. Hindi
dito.
pwedeng doon. Because I can imagine kung doon yung dealer, tapos pinasok mo na lang dito after, that's not covered because hindi kaya ng DTIE.
May hirapan din yun kasi wala kang tinatawag nilang network of services, hindi ma-offer sa'yo. Dito mo nalang bilhin through their distributors here. If you want a brand abroad na meron naman dito network, dito nalang bilhin through them. Indent order naman tawag dyan eh. So, para ma-cover siya sa lemon privileges.
Okay. And then I'm curious, so we're talking about coverage here. Unang-una, the consumer has to buy brand new motor vehicles. So we define motor vehicles, dapat hindi mga motorcycles, hindi dump trucks. And yung isa pang very important part ng law, yung lemon law rights period. So not just because brand new yung vehicle mo ay covered ka na, parang may limitation dito. Ano yung period within which you can still claim yung rights mo under the law?
Sige, I'll answer that and maybe guys later on. Assuming you buy a brand new car ngayon, tapos dineliver siya, assuming ngayon din available, meron kang 12 months period from the date of delivery or 20,000 kilometer odometer rating, whichever comes first. Yun yung tinatawag na lemon law rights period. Ano ibig sabihin nun to the consumers? No? If magkaroon siya ng non-conformity that impairs yung use niya, yung safety, importante, tsaka yung value niya, na hindi sumasang-ayon sa specification ng sasakyan, at binalik-balik mo for repair, 4 times mo binalik-balik, hindi magawa, no? Hindi magawa, then you are now entitled to send a notice, I'm availing of the privileges of the law.
Okay. We'll ask more details about that, Yusek, and of course, Gus, kung ano yung, what you think about the remedies under the law. But for now, we'll have to take a short break. Legal Help Desk will return after these messages. The Lemon Law is aimed to protect car buyers from defective cars. According to the Lemon Law, the consumer can report any defects on the newly purchased motor vehicle 12 months after the date of delivery, or when the vehicle in question has reached its first 20,000 kilometers of operation. However, the law stresses that consumers can only invoke their rights after 4 and separate repair attempts. The repairs must be made by the same manufacturer, distributor, and/or authorized dealer for the same complaint, and the consumer cannot directly go to the DTI. They must first provide a written notice containing the unresolved complaint and the consumer's intention to invoke his or her rights under the Lemon Law. The consumer must then bring the vehicle to the manufacturer for a final attempt to address the complaint. If the complaint remains unresolved, only then can the consumer proceed to the DTI office. Like any purchase, it is best to check for any defects that might occur while the object is still under warranty or within the period of exchange or refund. As a consumer, be aware of your legal rights and invoke them should the need arise. You're still watching Legal Help Desk with our guests, Undersecretary Victorio Mario Dimagiba of DTI and Gus Lagman of the Automobile Association of the Philippines. Yusek, kanina we started off by saying kung ano yung covered, which means dapat it has to be within 12 months from the date of the delivery of the brand new motor vehicle and or kung within 20,000 kilometers pa, whichever comes first.
That's right.
So, my question is, what if you've been using the car and then lumampas ka sa 20,000 kilometers, kahit within that year pa, lalo na if, you know, I have a lot of female friends, talagang walang alam sa car. So, it can happen na gamit lang sila ng gamit and then they find out later on na the defect was pre-existing na pala by the time from the time they bought it. So, what would be the remedy in that type of case?
If the period, yung 20,000 kilometers, yung 1 year had already lapsed, and then nalaman natin defective yung vehicle, meron pa naman siyang right yun yung warranty against defective vehicle. In fact, at the moment, Yun ang ginagamit namin sa DTI in helping consumers who claim that they were able to buy defective vehicle. Ang dami po naming nimimediate na mga cases na involving claims for defective vehicles. So, and it proved to be effective naman yung aming pagpapalakad. There are some few cases na hindi makuha sa mediation. Had to go to a more formal process yung adjudication. So yun pong sagot doon, kung lumampas na sa period, hindi po ibig sabihin wala na siyang karapatan. Meron pa. Because the Consumer Act is still there. No? Yung pong lemon law, sinasabi po dyan, walang binawas sa karapatan ng isang consumer under the Consumer Act. In fact, that's a good point eh. Maybe sa paggawa namin ng IRR, ito nga pong association ni Gas Lagman is invited as a member of the technical working group. Siguro sa IRR, pwede namin ilagay yan eh, na ang option actually nasa buyer. Ano bang gusto niyang i-invoke? Lemon law or
Yung Consumer Protection
Consumer
Act.
Act. O, pareho po yan. Complementary. One did not repeal the others. Eh.
But for this law, Philippine Lemon Law, it was designed to address concerns faster.
Oo, kasi ano mo, very limited ang lemon law. No? The consumer should understand that. It makes mention of 4 repair attempts on the same defect. Eh. Karamihan ng mga complaints sa amin, yung may defect ngayon, after a while, babalik, iba naman ang defect. No? And then, babalik naman, iba naman defect. May mga ganyan. Ano? So, may ikot. No? Rattling sound, hindi malaman kung saan nagkagaling, mahina ang brakes, no? Pinagtan, mga ganong issues. No? But the law says the same complaint that impairs use, safety, and value. And then, you have 4 times to repair. Talaga namang pag 4 times na hindi mo na-repair.
Oo nga eh. And I was thinking, paano kung nag-alternate?
Wala
You
nang
have
pag-uusapan
a complaint
doon,
na may kinalaman sa engine, tapos yung isa may kinalaman sa air conditioning, tapos nag-alternate sila. So it's hard because it seems like kailangan pabalik-balik ka 4 times. But let's talk about the procedure here. You mentioned earlier, non-conformity. Paano mo malalaman? So if I were a buyer of a brand new vehicle, in order to know kung applicable tong Philippine Lemon Law, I have to look at first kung meron ba talagang non-conformity. And I guess, Gus, how would you explain ito to our viewers, lalo na yung mga wala masyadong alam sa kotse?
Well, lahat naman tayo, we have an expectation when we buy a vehicle. No? Number one, of course, and I think it should have been the first in the law, is safety. No? And in fact, even in the United States, that is a very, very sensitive issue. And manufacturers would even recall hundreds of thousands of cars or millions of cars because of a question on safety. You know? So that should be number one.
You mean, also, may kinalaman yan sa mga airbags and of
well,
course alignment.
you won't know that until
exactly,
you get into
something
a
happens,
road crash, no? But things like, for example, you step on the brakes and it keeps on going. And this has happened, no? Yun pala, as it turned out, it was a defect on the floor mat.
On the car mat.
Oh, the car mat, no? So that's a safety issue, no? And then value, of course. For example, if the paint is bad, then the value goes down. And if you should want to resell the car later, you know, the value would be lower than what it would normally command. And then use, which means that it should run. The reason you bought a vehicle is because you want to go from point A to point B. And if it doesn't happen, then there's a problem.
Yung mga biglang titirik ka, umandar ka sa highway, biglang into. There are cases like that na na-file sa DTI, no? For no reason at all.
Bigla na
It
lang.
stops, no? Mabuti, walang kakasunod, etc., etc. No? So those are the kind of things that the Lemon Law now addresses. No?
Okay.
In between kasi the Lemon Law and the Consumer Act, maganda yung procedure niya eh. Simple, no? 4 times, no? Assuming it's the same defect. Sa Consumer Act, pag dumating na yung mga abogado ng kumpanya, medyo haba na no?
Complicated na. So, kasi nakita ko sa Philippine Lemon Law.
Maybe they are watching naman mga totoo sila. Pero totoo naman eh.
And I'm one of those lawyers. But nakita ko rin sa Philippine Lemon Law kasi if you reach the point na na-file mo na yung complaint sa DTI, the periods are very short. If it's mediation, dapat within 10 days ma-resolve.
Yes, so
if it's adjudication, 20 days. So
that's right.
it seems
Kasi
na mapapabilis talaga.
Yun ang aming timeline for all consumer complaints. Not only for this, at nagpapasalamat kami sa Kongreso, in-adapt nila yung aming procedures. No? In 10 working days in mediation, and 20 working days in adjudication. So,
okay.
yeah.
Yusek and Gus, we will answer questions now from our viewers, of course, with your help. So we have first from Richard. I bought a brand new car 6 months ago, but almost every month a problem occurs. Since it's still under warranty, the dealership kept repairing it. But when I asked if it was possible for them to replace the unit instead, they said no. Is this right? What are my rights as a consumer? So it seems like si Richard pasok pa sa Philippine Lemon Law because it was within 6 months and we have to qualify lang na Richard dapat wala pang lampas ng 20,000 kilometers.
Can we read again the question? Di ko masyadong sundan.
So Richard bought a car 6 months ago. So within 6 months.
Before the Lemon Law.
Pero every month daw, meron na lang problem that keeps occurring. And since under warranty pa siya, he went back to the dealership and asked if it is possible to replace it, but the dealership said no. He's asking if is that right, and what are his rights as a consumer?
Under the Consumer Act, tatlong ang rights niya, redress niya. In fact, yung repair, out of the question, kasi lagi nire-repair. You can actually demand a replacement or a refund under the Consumer Act. Yun yung warranty rights niya. I won't comment first on whether the Lemon Law will apply to him because he bought the car 6 months ago, meaning ang batas naman naging August 7 lang naging effective.
Yeah,
no? So I won't comment on that dahil
kailangan perspective.
Dahil ang rule perspective, no. So pero pinag-aaralan namin. In fact, I'll bring this up sa first meeting ng technical working group. I also want to sound out the industry and some of the experts on whether it can be given retroactive effect, no. Marami naman mga issues dyan. But as of now, I don't want to answer that under the Lemon Law.
Yeah.
Consumer Act muna, yes, he can demand replacement or refund.
Replacement or refund because obviously, Richard, yung repair has not been working. But
that's right.
According to Yusek, Vic as well, titignan pa kung magiging applicable yung Philippine Lemon Law. Kasi nga, generally, sa ilalim ng batas natin, if a new law is passed, kailangan sa current and future cases yan applicable, meaning from the time ma-pass yung law. Hindi pwedeng for past events. So in this case, nabili na 6 months ago.
Right.
No?
Pero mayroon namang consumer protection
yes.
act.
And under the Consumer Act, you can get a repair is not working, it's either a refund or replacement. So mali yung sinasabi sa kanya na hindi pwede yung replacement.
Mali yan. Yun ang, siguro i-file yan na yung complaint sa DTI, dumaan na ng mediation, and then I'm sure sa mediation magkakaroon ng konting tunes yan. In mediation kasi hindi naman what the consumer asks is what was given, no? So give and take din eh. But at the end they settle most of the time.
Okay, that's very comforting for Richard. And I think he'll look for you, Yusek Vic.
Sige, Richard.
Okay.
Sige.
Thank you for helping us answer that. We'll take another short break. Legal Help Desk will return after these reminders. You're still tuned in to Legal Help Desk, and we still have with us Undersecretary Victorio Mario Di Magiba and Gus Lagman. So, kanina we were talking about one, yung coverage ng law, and then some of the procedures. First, check for nonconformity. And now, let's go to the point na, kunwari you really discover that there is nonconformity in the vehicle, and then you bring it for repair. One interesting point I found in the law are your remedies. Kasi in the meantime, you have no car. So, maybe Gus, you can enlighten us.
Yeah.
If you lose your car kasi pinapa-repair mo, what can you get from the dealer, manufacturer, or distributor?
Sana they can provide a service vehicle, no? While the car is being repaired. No? That would help. And anyway, most dealers would have a lot of service vehicles that they can afford to lend. No? Because it's not fair to the consumer that, you know, he paid ₱1,000,000 and then now he can't use it because it goes back and forth.
Yusek Vic, this is provided in the law, right? Pwede
Yeah,
kang
meron.
either you get the transportation allowance or a service vehicle.
Yes,
So-
reasonable transportation allowance. I think hindi lumabas sa batas eh. At one point we were considering at least siguro hindi na rin valid yun, ₱200 per day taxi. No?
Per day ba? Kasi ang nabasa ko sa law, the
Kulang
law
na yan,
says
kulang na yan. Siguro
it
baka
should be,
doble na.
Oo, kasi nakalagay sa law, it should be yung reasonable amount ng transportation allowance na kailangan ibigay sa consumer is the value of an air-conditioned taxi from their home to their
the
destination
office.
or workplace and back and
Back
forth.
base,
Or yun nga, service vehicle.
Service vehicle. Siguro most likely the IR will be more on the monetary. Kasi I don't think there are too many service vehicle that a dealer can provide. No? So more on the, even sa deliberation naman sa Kongreso, yun naman talagang consensus. No? I mean, they're willing, the industry is willing to give that amount to compensate for the lack of this, the mobility nung nakabili na under repair yung vehicle. No? In fact, right now, kahit wala pang lemon, no? Yung mga talagang defective vehicle na nasa kasa, wala nang yun, nag-o-offer na sila kagad ng service
ng
vehicle.
service vehicle.
Very open na sila
Yun ang
doon.
isa sa siguro magiging contentious ng konti is the monetary,
How much?
How much, no? And the other is yung, let's say I brought it back twice on the same defect, and then another thing happens, and now it's 3 times. So that's 5, but different defects, no? So, you know, how will that be resolved? Especially because sometimes you bring a car for repairs, and then they would discover something else,
Yeah.
no? Madalas ganun eh. And you get
Well,
billed.
ako,
actually with
as detail, sagot ko dyan, sa consumer app na.
consumer
Kasi
app.
defective yung vehicle eh. Pag in-insist niya sa lemon, hindi siya magko-comply? Sayang. No?
Parang dun na, I think
Correct.
that's one of the weaknesses of the law. To the extent na it requires 4 times na repair for the same complaint and for the same defect. But Gus is right. Sometimes, pagdala mo doon, dalawa na yung problema bigla or iba na nag-alternate din. So, mapapatagal ka na pagbalik sa'yo and who knows. Paano, Yusek Vic, pagka kunwari yung 4th time that the same defect happens, lumampas na dun sa 1 year or sa 20,000 kilometers? Does it go outside the coverage of the lemon law?
No, pasok pa rin siya kasi ang bibilangin dyan yung the first eh.
First time.
In fact, dito nga sa IRR, we will develop a simple form na even sa first attempt to repair, meron na kagad notice eh. Para nalalagbook na siya, kumbaga, no? So pagdating sa fourth, hindi pa rin na-repair, formality na lang yung notice that I'm availing of my rights. No? Kumbaga, meron na siyang history.
You know, an unscrupulous dealer might tell the repair shop, oy, pagka mga twice na or 3 times,
Gawin mo na.
sabihin mo, iba na yung defect.
Pwede. And
Diba?
for someone na wala masyadong alam sa cars, it can
Ayan.
happen na, sige, tanggapin
Alam
mo
mo,
lang.
ang sagot ko dyan, dyan sila papasok, yung Automotive Association of the Philippines. Dahil sa batas, kami ay ni-require na humingi ng tulong ng mga experts. In fact, isa yan sa aming gagawin. Meron kaming pool of experts na tutulong sa amin.
That would be helpful, Gus, kasi when I was reading the law, I was thinking, lalo na yung mga walang alam sa kotse, how do they even know na successful yung first attempt? Because you might be using the car again, tapos hindi agad lumabas yung failure pala nung first attempt ng repair. So they need experts to say na ayos or hindi para they know whether to
Yun
bring.
din yun eh.
Oo,
Di ba?
exactly. You
Yun
can
din
say
yun
that.
eh.
Oo.
Mabuti, hindi ka nag-invite ng auto industry dito. Kasi sila, ang sinasabi naman nila, baka daw yung consumer naman ng mag-out of bounds ng exercise ng rights nila, no? So, kaya nga, enable business, empower consumer. Dapat pamagitna kami talaga dito. Kailangan ng IRR namin ay balansyado talaga.
Yeah.
Oo.
So let's lay out the procedure. So una-una, if you notice a defect, you bring it to the manufacturer,
That's right.
the dealer, or the distributor to repair it. And you have to give
A
the
notice. The notice
distributor
already.
four times na attempts to repair the same defect for the same complaint. And pag nag-fail yun, you can give the notice of availment of your rights under the
Yan ang
Philippine
kailangan
law.
namin ayusin, and we will need their help. Kasi yung notice of the first repair attempt, ano yun? How you will describe that? And then the second, to the consumer, akala niya problema pa rin is brake, no? Una, yung brake, pag sinabi mong brake sa engineer, maraming component yan, no? Kung mag-iba-iba nga naman yung description dun sa, when you bring it to the service shop, they put in, ano po complaint nyo, then they lag. So, kailangan maliwanag na it's the same defect, no? Meaning, if the complaint is on brake system, yung pala yun, brake. No? Ayun ang general. Hindi pwede mong isa naman yung consumer na gagamitin mo yung technicality na ibang pyesa ng brake. Sabihin, repair kit, brake drum, ang daming ganun, ano? Pero brake system pa rin siya.
Correct.
Andun lahat yun. Tama ba yun?
Tama. Yes.
So you will have to set up a consultant desk in every
Well,
distributor,
tama yung sinasabi ni
manufacturer.
Yusek. We'll try to get as many very technical people who can assist, especially in the mediation. No?
Yeah, because especially mediation, because if you have someone who does not know anything about cars, mahirap makipag-negotiate kung ano yung dapat niyang makuha na rights after.
That's right.
We still have some questions from our viewers. From David. Since the Lemon Law only covers brand new cars, is it possible that it will be amended anytime soon to cover second-hand vehicles? I bought a second-hand vehicle with an assurance that it was in good condition, only to spend more than 30,000 pesos on repairs. And I want to file a case against the seller. What law can I use instead to fight for my rights as a consumer?
Ayan, kapag second hand, hindi na siya pwede sa...
Philippine
But
Lemon
may
Law.
tip ako sa kanya, no? Never mind the lemon law, pero sa warranty, tingnan niya yung kanyang warranty certificate kung yung vehicle is still the warranty period. Even kung second owner na siya, kung nasa warranty period pa siya, he can enjoy the remaining period of the warranty. No, pwede yan under the Consumer Act. No? Assuming wala na rin, out of warranty, ano yung question niya? Out of warranty, pagkatapos as is where is Hindi ko alam kung binenta sa kanya as is where is. Kung as is where is, mukhang
Wala na siyang, hindi niya mahabol din yung seller for the 30,000 pesos that he spent for the mga repairs. But kunwari, I guess another thing that he can do is check the contract of sale. Kasi kung ginarantee doon ng seller nung second-hand car that it is in good condition, walang sira, then he can actually go after that seller for damages as well, no? Okay.
Yes, yun
But
po yun.
very few sellers will agree to put that
Yes,
clause.
that's true.
No?
That's true. I'm sure you have it based on your experience. But for purposes of going to the DTI, can consumers go to the DTI and complain about yung mga defects or repairs kahit second-hand cars?
Yes, even second-hand cars, pinapatignan namin kung within the warranty period. At pag within the warranty period, you enjoy it. When you buy second-hand car, lalo na ngayon, some cars offer
3 years.
3 years, no? May mga talaga, after 1 year, yung mga hilis ng mga kotse, they sell it down. No? You still enjoy the balance, no? Check lang ni David kung ano yung kanyang pinirmahan, ano yung kanyang booklet, kung nandoon pa at the time na binili niya, kung within the warranty period pa siya. Ang lakas pa ng ano niya, rights niya. Against the seller.
That he has to bring it to the dealer.
Yeah.
Di ba? Hindi pwedeng sa ibang repair shop.
Yeah.
Wala yung warranty.
But even before the Lemon Law, ang aming coordination sa automotive companies, Basta within the warranty period yung kotse, kahit sino yung may-ari na, ini-entertain pa nila yung warranty rights. Oo.
Okay.
The warranty goes to the seller. But the lemon law is another story. Ito talaga brand new. Hindi siguro ma-amendahan to cover second
Probably
hand.
another legislation if necessary.
Yeah.
But at least good news for David and other buyers of second-hand cars. You still have remedies, particularly under the Consumer Protection Act, and you can also still go to the DTI if it's still covered within the warranty period. And of course, we have the Civil Code, generally for damages or para dun sa mga breaches ng contract of sale. Okay, we have another question from Andy. Does the Lemon Law cover brand new vehicles that were involved in accidents because of a defect that was discovered during the investigation? So, ito pag nagkaroon po ng accident.
Ako, sagot ko, yes. Defective, irrespective of when or where it was discovered.
Although you said, Vic, I want to get clarification pala. Nakalagay sa law na hindi covered ng Philippine Lemon Law yung defects or non-conformity ng motor vehicle if the defect is due to force majeure. So I guess force majeure would be, or accidents. So those are pag ano mga flooding and pagka kunwari accident caused by a collision. Hindi na siya kasama, no?
Collision, no. Pero question is, during the investigation, there was a finding that there was a defect in the vehicles. I guess that can be under the Lemon Law.
Okay.
And it caused the road crash.
Yeah. Safety.
Yeah, it's a safety issue.
It's a safety issue.
So in that case, if the cause of the accident is the defect itself, then it's covered by the Philippine Lemon Law.
Yes.
Should be.
Okay.
Yeah. Should be. Should be. Otherwise, walang binigay na bagong karapatan sa mga
In
consumer.
fact, I think his claim can be higher, no? Can be stronger.
And that's the whole purpose of the Lemon Law, meaning non-conformity that impairs your safety. Very clear. Ang ganda nga ng example niya.
Thank you. We still have more to discuss. Legal Help Desk will be back, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Legal Help Desk with our guests, Yusek Victorio Dimagiba and Gus Lagman. So now we'll talk about remedies naman. So assuming you already sent the same vehicle for the same problem 4 times, and then hindi pa rin naayos. And then of course you already gave yung tinatawag nating notice of availment to that same manufacturer, distributor, or dealer. What happens next, Yusek?
Takbo na sa DTI.
So sa pupunta na sa inyo. Okay.
Punta na sa DTI. Punta na sa DTI. Lodge a complaint with DTI and then immediately we'll schedule a mediation.
Okay.
So may mediators tayo sa opisina. Paghaharapin na sila. So 10 working days. Assuming successful, our record shows mga 75% of complaints are settled by mediation. But
That's a high,
20-25%.
high average, 75%. And you said at this point, hindi pa kailangan magdala ng lawyer?
We do not encourage lawyers in mediation. Pero sabi nga nila, when the lawyer is already there, wala nang magawa yung mediator. No? Una-una, our mediators are actually not lawyers.
It's not a lawyer, yeah.
In fact, some of them are law graduates. No? Pero as a rule, in mediation, we do not encourage lawyers. Kasi nawawala yung nawawala yung dapat niyang gawin. Nadi-discuss yung law na hindi kailangan i-discuss yung law.
Oo, that's true. Actually, under our Alternative Dispute Resolution Act, pag mediation nga, normally bawal ang lawyers eh.
Bawal nga.
Kasi I think it recognizes the fact na ang tagal.
I met a mediator who is a doctor of medicine.
Ayan, ito yung bagong dinagdag sa Lemon Law eh. Normally, pag hindi successful ang mediation, immediately failed mediation, adjudication. May dinagdag yung law yung arbitration. Giving the parties the option to go to someone else, not DTI, na mag-arbitrate ng case niya. Halimbawa, si gas lang man, very technical issue, maaari silang pumunta sa kanila. No? Tapos they will ask them to mediate, to arbitrate.
To be the arbitrator.
Arbitrate, no? So yon sa kanila yon. Pero after that, kung wala pa rin silang kasunduan, tsaka sila pwede bumalik sa DTI adjudication na. So, yun yung dinagdag during the bicameral conference na. Kasi wala yan dun sa version ng Senado at saka ng Kongreso. Pero doon the bicameral, at si Congressman Rufus Rodriguez ang nag-introduce yan ipinasok niya. Kasi yun daw yun nasa ADR law na merong after mediation, you go to arbitration. Pinaliliwanag namin sa DTI na sa amin, yung arbitration at adjudication, we interchangeably use that Pero sabi
Yung
niya...
arbitration yata is when you choose 3 people.
Pwede 3, pwede 1.
Pwede 1. Yeah.
Selection ng isa.
Kaya lang, ano na yan, gas
And then a common.
Yeah.
May cost na yan. Yung mediation at adjudication, wala kaming filing fee. We don't collect filing fee.
And the complaint, is it simple enough? Anong itsura po ng complaint na kailangan i-file sa DTI?
Actually, notice lang yan We don't even require verified complaint
So
Ano kami
really, you
dyan?
really talagang, for consumers out there, madali lang buhay nila. Hindi
Madali
nila kailangan
lang,
mag-hire ng lawyer to draft the complaint.
Maski na text, saka email, tinatanggap namin.
O, wag na nating pamigay yung number mo, Yusek. Baka biglang dumami yung
Hindi,
mag-text
mamaya, yung call center namin, ang ibibigay
sige,
ko.
we'll share that, yung call center ng DTI. We have more questions from our viewers. From Cheska, do I really have to wait after the 12th month since purchasing the lemon car before filing a case with the DTI? What if the car is beyond repair despite many efforts? I think hindi clear kay Cheska na actually, to be covered by the Philippine lemon law, kailangan within 12 months.
Yeah, no need to wait. Immediately, Cheska ba yung pangalan niya? Immediately, pag na-notice mo na defective, punta ka na kagad. No need to wait for the 12 months.
And again, for previous purchases, they have the option to use, actually, they should be using Consumer Protection Act kasi hindi pa clear na applicable na sa kanila yung Philippine lemon
That's
law.
right.
So they can go directly to DTI. Next question is from Alex. What can I demand from the car dealership while my car is being repaired? Can I ask for a loaner car?
Yes.
Ito yung pinag-uusapan natin
Sinagot na
kanina.
natin yan. Yeah.
So, yeah, Gus, maybe you can share yung...
Replacement car, service vehicle, or a certain amount of money, an allowance that will take care of your transportation on a day-to-day basis. But again, what amount that is going to be the subject matter of technical working group.
Yeah. Also, I saw in the law na, one, yung reasonable allowance nga, dapat air-conditioned taxi. Pero kung hindi magka-agree yung purchaser or consumer and the dealer or distributor or manufacturer, they can go to DTI to settle the...
Pero wala naman yata ang taxi ngayon na hindi air-condition.
Oo nga
Meron mga air-condition pero mga mapalya. Pero all of them have air-condition.
Okay,
Nakalagay sa labas.
that's good to know. Mainit pa naman sa Pilipinas. Our last question is from Joel. Aside from replacement, what other remedies can I demand from the dealer in case it is proven that there is non-conformity?
Well, yun ang monetary
Refund.
yeah.
Refund ng sagot doon.
Oo,
yung
okay.
refund,
So pag hindi replacement, refund.
Yung
And this is where I
Less
want...
the reasonable use.
Yes,
no?
use
Which
yun
the
yung
law
tatanungin
defined,
ko.
no? Which is 20% per year.
Per year.
Or
Oo. So, actually may formula dito
May
na
formula
memorize ko na.
medyo hindi ko-
So, pag refund, kailangan ibawas yung reasonable allowance for use.
That's
So, it's
right,
either 20% per annum of the purchase price or it should be kung anong kilometers na yung tinakbo. So, for example, 10,000 kilometers times the purchase price divided by 100,000 pesos. Sorry, 100,000
kilometers.
Oh, 100,000
Whichever is
kilometers.
lower.
Whichever is lower. So, kung ano yung amount that it will come up with between those two formulas, kung ano yung mas maliit, yun yung ibabawas sa purchase price, and that will be the total refund amount that you're entitled to get.
That's right. That's right.
So, kailangan na naman ng someone from the automotive or at least a mathematician to help you compute, no?
Wala, 20,000 kilometers a year parang lumalabas.
Alam mo yan,
doon sa formula mo.
20,000 kilometer a year, gamit na gamit yan eh. That's a car na you use every day.
That's right.
Uh,
That's about 1,600
But
a month.
if your car is your second car, you'll not probably hit 20,000
That's right.
in 1 year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kaya ang aming advice sa consumer with the lemon law, use your car as much as possible. Kasi sayang yung lemon law privileges nila eh.
Yeah, that's true. And also, you cannot discover normally the defects
Yeah, that's right.
unless ginagamit mo talaga. And considering na kailangan malaman mo within 1 year, then kung hindi mo masyadong ginagamit, baka mamaya kung kailan a year and 2 months after, dun mo pa makita yung mga defects.
At saka, we almost overlook one very important requirement of the law. Yung kailangan natin gagalawin yung kotse. Huwag natin modify. Huwag natin kung ano ilalagay natin sa makina, with all those ads on energy efficiency, things like that. Pag nag-alter mo yung warranty mo, then that will void your rights under the lemon law. Even under the Warranty Act,
Pareho rin sa
ganun
warranty.
din yun eh. So, palampasin mo muna yung 1 year o yung 20,000 kilometers bago mo i-update o what they call that, modify. Oo, yung mga ganun.
But Yusek, Vic, and Gus, what are the modifications na considered to take you out of the coverage of the Lemon Law or Consumer Protection Act? Ano ba to? Pag nagpalit ka ng mags, pinalitan mo yung tambucho mo, what are the... Kasi may iba, di ba? They want it to be like parang race car types.
Well, marami. Even yung mga energy boosters, that will probably disqualify you. I guess it would be the same as the normal warranty that a dealer provides.
Yung anything
you should not violate that.
Anything you alter and then you touch on the electrical system of the car can be a modification.
Pag mga accessories lang, kunwari you change the clutch into yung mga dati, di ba, nauso yung wooden, yung mga Italian
gagalawin
brands.
mo?
I mean,
Hindi na pwede.
Basta may tinanggal kang bolts and nuts doon eh.
Oo.
Ano na yan eh, medyo part na ng alteration yun eh.
You're giving them a reason to say no
Okay.
when you do that.
That's very helpful. So for viewers out there, take note. Before you do any alterations or modifications to your brand new vehicle, antayin nyo na lang muna na matapos yung 1 year or 20,000 kilometers of running the car before you do all of those modifications or alterations, or else you will be taken out of the coverage of the Philippine Lemon Law, or baka rin even under the warranty that will allow
Can
you to
also
enjoy
void the
rights under the
warranty.
Consumer Protection Act.
Yes, yeah. And then, ano pa ba mga importanteng provision ng batas? Now, after everything is said and done, lemon. So, nabayaran ka na o napalitan ka na. Yung kotse na yun, aayusin yun eh. Na pwede pa rin yung i-sell. Pero dapat itatatakan na siya ng lemon vehicle. Yun po,
that's
nag-umpisa
good.
po tayo, what is why we call it lemon. Yun po magandang ending doon. Tatatakan po yan ng lemon. Hindi lang po porke tatatakan siya ng lemon. Pag hindi mo ginawa yun, may multa sa batas. 100,000 pesos. Nagbinenta mo na hindi siya lemon. Even LTO will have to register it as a lemon vehicle. Kaya kasali din po sila sa pagbalangkas ng IRR.
That's very helpful. And I'm sure pag ganon, you can ask for a discount, a bigger discount. Kasi
Malaki na
risky,
yan.
di ba?
Malaki na yan.
Sige.
Ayan.
Thank you so much, Yusek Vic, and thank you, Gus. Those are very helpful tips, and I'm sure very, very helpful for all car purchases out there. That is all the time we have for tonight. We'd like to thank our guests, Undersecretary Victorio Mario Dimagiba of the Department of Trade and Industry, and Gus Lagman, Chairperson of the Automobile Association of the Philippines, for being with us tonight. If you have any questions or comments on tonight's episode, you may post these at our Facebook and Twitter pages. And if you have missed any of our episodes, you can watch these at your convenience, anytime, anywhere, by downloading the Solar News Channel app from Google Play or the Apple App Store. Join us again next Monday as we discuss your legal rights. I'm Attorney Karen Jimeno. Good night. In 2013, the car industry broke the 200,000 mark with a total of 212,682 units sold. From January to March of this year, more than 60,000 cars were sold. This is due to the influx of disposable income produced especially by first-time car buyers. Of the thousands of brand new cars sold annually, there are bound to be vehicles that have escaped the quality standards of its manufacturers. These types of vehicles
is actually a lemon. The consumers are more confident now to buy vehicles because aside from the express warranty by the manufacturers, we have the lemon law. That will also challenge the manufacturers to even continue to improve the quality of the cars they produce.
How does this law protect the rights of car consumers? What are the remedies that it proposes? And how will this law affect car manufacturing companies? Good evening. You are watching Legal Help Desk. This show is about making the law work for you by giving legal advice on topics that matter to you. I'm Attorney Karen Jimeno. Tonight, we will discuss your legal rights according to the newly approved Philippine Lemon Law. What you need to know about the Lemon Law, and what you need to do to invoke your rights as a consumer under this law. Our guests for tonight are Undersecretary Victorio Mario Di Magiba of the Department of Trade and Industry and Gus Lagman, Chairperson of the Automobile Association of the Philippines. Good evening and thank you for being with us, gentlemen.
Good evening, Karen.
Good evening, Atty.
So this is a very relevant topic because this law took into effect just last Thursday, August 7. So a lot of people first ask you, lalo na yung mga hindi familiar with the word lemon as standing for vehicles, why is it called lemon law in the first place? Or why does it refer to defective cars when you say lemon?
Yeah,
Maybe
siguro,
Gus would like to say.
Well, what is usually referred to as lemon are those that are defective, and then after asking the manufacturer or dealer to repair the defect, it breaks down again, and it's the same defect. So you bring it back to the...
Are described as lemons.
We welcome the passage of the lemon law because we believe that this will be beneficial to the consumers as well as the manufacturers and distributors. Defect actually is a non-conformity to the specifications. The defect should relate to safety. Manufacturers will be given the opportunity to repair.
Philippine Lemon Law, which was signed by the President last month, aims to protect and promote the rights of buyers of automobiles from deceptive practices. However, it only covers brand new four-wheeled vehicles. The law does not cover motorcycles or second-hand vehicles. At first glance, the law seems to benefit only the car consumers. However, many owners of car manufacturing companies welcome the law because it will also benefit them in the long run.
It clearly defines now the procedure and how to determine whether the car...
The dealer, and then it happens over and over again. And I have some friends in the past who experienced this kind of thing. And that's what we usually refer to as a lemon. Something that which defects could not be repaired.
I read some reference materials that say the history of the word is the British slang for parang passing off, when they say giving lemons, it's passing off something defective as good. So I guess that's early 1900s pa daw yun. So maybe that's one of the reasons. But Yusek,
Yeah,
do you think this is very welcomed? I mean, sino bang pinoprotect nitong law na to?
Actually, going back to the first question, why we called it lemon, no? Kinopya natin to sa mga batas sa US. Marami silang batas dyan na kapag